When you think of electric vehicles, what comes to mind? Probably Tesla, maybe a Lucid, possibly even a Rivian. But there's a giant in the EV space that gets almost zero attention in the West, despite outselling the competition and quietly dominating the global market. The company, BYD. And today we're going to talk about why BYD is so incredibly underrated. Who is BYD? First, let's get this straight. BYD isn't some random startup. Founded in 1995, BYD, which stands for Build Your Dreams, started off as a battery manufacturer. They built rechargeable batteries for mobile phones and tech gadgets, competing with the likes of Panasonic and Sanyo. Fast forward to the mid-2000s, BYD entered the auto industry and took a bold bet on electrification, long before it was trendy. While most automakers were still riding the wave of gas-powered performance, BYD was laying the foundation for full EV and hybrid production. Today, they're not just surviving, they're thriving. And yet hardly anyone outside of China talks about them. BYD's massive scale. Here's something most people don't know. In 2023, BYD sold more electric vehicles than Tesla. If you include plug-in hybrids, that's over 3 million units. And we're not talking about cheap golf carts here. BYD's lineup includes luxury sedans, SUVs, buses, and even electric trucks. They manufacture in China, Brazil, Thailand, and they're expanding to Europe and Latin America. Yet outside of the industry, BYD rarely makes headlines. Why? Let's get into that. Western bias and media narratives. There's a very real Western bias in tech and automotive media. Tesla is a Silicon Valley darling. American and European brands get media love. But BYD, it's Chinese. And let's be honest, that comes with its own set of perceptions, both politically and economically. Because BYD doesn't do flashy Elon-style PR stunts or tweet storms, it often flies under the radar. But behind the scenes, it's quietly eating market share, country by country. BYD's tech edge, Blade battery, in-car tech, self-driving tests. Narrator. BYD isn't just cranking out cars, they're innovating. One of their biggest breakthroughs is the Blade battery. It's lithium iron phosphate, which means it's safer, more durable, and longer lasting than traditional lithium-ion batteries. Unlike most car brands, BYD builds its own batteries, chips, electric motors, and even semiconductors. They're vertically integrated, meaning they control every part of the EV supply chain. That's a huge advantage, especially in a world where supply chains can collapse overnight. And guess what? Tesla even uses BYD batteries in some of its models sold in China. That should tell you something. Global expansion. BYD isn't sitting still. They're expanding globally, fast. In Latin America, BYD electric buses are everywhere. In Norway and the UK, their luxury EVs like the Seal and the Auto 3 are getting rave reviews. They're also launching aggressively in Thailand, Australia, and India. Even Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway saw the potential and invested in BYD back in 2008. That investment? It's grown over 20 times since then. Not a bad move for something that's still flying under the mainstream radar. The BYD versus Tesla narrative. Tesla and BYD are very different companies. Tesla sells high-margin luxury EVs with a focus on software and autonomy. BYD makes everything from commuter cars to trucks to buses, and at much lower prices. Think of Tesla as Apple. Think of BYD as Samsung, but for EVs. They may not have the same brand hype in the US, but they're dominant globally. And while Tesla has a head start in software, BYD is catching up fast, and they have the volume game locked down. So why so underrated? So why is BYD still underrated? Simple. They don't play the hype game. They focus on building, innovating, and expanding. And while others are chasing headlines, BYD is chasing results and getting them. As the world moves deeper into the EV era, don't be surprised if BYD becomes a household name. It may be underrated now, but not for long. If you learned something new about BYD today, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more car and tech breakdowns, and let us know in the comments. Would you buy a BYD over a Tesla? Until next time, keep your battery charged and your mind open. Catch you in the next one.